Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Fire Emblem Discussion. Today we are going to be talking about crest and how they may be affecting the story, but I'm not going to be doing it alone. I have a very special guest. Would you mind introducing yourself, Mr. Special Guest?
Hello, I am the Greatrieck, and well, I do Fire Emblem analysis, like more detailed analysis than most people. I do like long, overdrawn reviews of each game in the series.
And he means long, man. He spends a lot of time on it. He puts a lot of effort into it. He deserves to be recognized. So go check out his channel. There'll be a link in the description. And I imagine you're doing some, and you have done some Fire Emblem Three Houses analysis recently. Are you going to be doing more of that?
I'm actually working on a hopes and concerns video based on a certain thing that got a lot of attention on Reddit that I'm not going to talk about here because I know of like one of your policies that you have.
It's not really a policy. I'm just avoiding leaks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to be talking about... I will be talking about those leaks and why I personally think that they're fake.
Oh, dope. Okay. So you heard it here, guys. If you want to know more about Three Houses and the leaks and whatever else, go check out the Greatrieck's channel because he's going to be analyzing it. He's probably going to do a good job. So go check that out, guys.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get down to brass tacks, Mr. Rieck. We're going to talk about crest again. That's what we're doing. Let's do this. So, just our general topic question today is, what do you think the crest will do other than be a plot device that drives the story forward? And I'll let you take it from here, Mr. Rieck.
Okay, so one of the things I think it will do is actually a fun, like a gameplay mechanic. I think it'll do do you remember in Fire Emblem 4 how the Holy Blood affected weapon ranks?
Yes.
I think it'll do much of the same thing, only it'll affect weapon EXP of a certain kind. So like, say there's a minor crest, say like a character has a minor crest of whatever. Say that a minor crest will instead give 20% extra weapon experience of that weapon.
Ooh, I like that.
While a major crest will give 50% extra weapon EXP. So, with that, I feel like it'll be a callback to the Holy Blood without exactly being the Holy Blood, because if they just straight up copied the Holy Blood, it'd be weird to have one of your students already have, like, say, S rank in gauntlets, where they can already be punching people.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I think that could be interesting if they did it that way. And do you mean, like you say, 20% extra or 50% extra weapon experience? Do you mean like per weapon, like a certain crest is going to be associated with a certain weapon, or do you mean just like in general, like every weapon?
With a certain weapon, like using the gauntlet example, like say there's a regalia weapon that's like a crest that is for gauntlets. I know I use gauntlets a lot, but that's because they're the most unique weapon.
Because gauntlets look dope.
They do. They really do. And they're brave weapons.
Yeah, they're just like innate brave weapons. Like, I don't know. I can already imagine the builds. I'm so excited.
Same here. Like, I've got I don't mean to flex on here already, but I've got the special edition pre-ordered like the minute it was announced.
Oh, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But either way, I think it'll give like weapon experience to like specific weapons, and which will relate to an idea that I have about classes, like going slightly off topic of the crests. But like, one of the things I think about with classes is that you won't lose weapon use with change of classes, but you'll lose like gaining weapon experience out of that class's preferred weapons. So, like...
That could be interesting too. Honestly, I'm not sure how all this weapon ranking and stuff is going to work and what weapons you're... Because it sounds like you're going to be able to use whatever weapon in whatever class, but there's got to be some downsides to it. So I'm interested to see what they are too.
Yeah, I'm assuming the downsides are like, say you become a Myrmidon, you only level up sword rank as a Myrmidon, But what I was about to say with the crest is like, unless you have a crest that is for another weapon. So like, say you're a Mermaiden, but your crest gives 20% extra ex weapon experience to axes. You you still gain weapon exp for axes even though you're a Mermaiden at the moment.
Do you think is there anything else that you think crests are going to be that they'll do? I guess.
That's I actually have not thought too hard about crests. I mean, aside from like one aspect that I really kind of hope doesn't return because I think most of the fan base is tired of it at the moment. And I think you probably know which one I'm talking about right off the bat.
Why don't you let our listeners know?
The children mechanic that's been in Fire Emblem Holy War, Awakening, and Fates. I feel like Fates burned out people on children for a while, so even though like the crests are basically like holy blood from what it seems, I just don't see them tiring out people with more children at the moment.
Real talk, I don't think that they're concerned so much with the hardcore fan base that might be like, oh, no more children, blah. I think I think children are very, very likely in Three Houses, especially considering these crests and how it could be passed down to children. That's such an opportunity for interesting builds and replayability. I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with you here, Mr. Riek. I think it's gonna be there.
I mean, if it is, it's all good. I'm just saying that unless they integrate it well, I'm not gonna be like the biggest fan of it. Although, although I do have my own speculations about the game myself and like another game it relates to, like that being FE4, because I feel like Fire Emblem has keeps hinting at the next remakes that they're doing by adding in mechanics from that game repeatedly. Like, I don't mean to go so much off topic, but like, the crests are basically holy blood, and the maps so far seem to be wide, much like Genealogy of the Holy War. So, I'm just gonna say I'm calling a Genealogy of the Holy War remake in, say, 2021.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that'd make a lot of people really happy.
It would make me happy for sure.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. Cool. Yeah. So I think crests are definitely going to affect weaponry, like you said. I think it's also might affect skills, as in like gambits is more what I mean. Different gambits you can perform with different crests and whatever else. Because you see, again, it might just be skills. I don't know. But you see in that one screenshot, Byleth has his crest like symbol flash when he attacks someone, and it looks like he gains. It's basically soul. You know, the skill soul. He gains HP.
Yeah.
Based on how much damage he did. So, or maybe it could have been Aether. I don't know. He's like a Lord character, so it could have been Aether as well. Who knows? But I think that, you know, crests are going to affect the skills you can learn and what they do and whatever else too. So I'm excited to see exactly what crest will do as we get closer to the release of the game. I honestly imagine we'll learn something at E3 about him.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, like, and at E3, I also, like, I keep being super speculative here, but I am, like, hoping they release some sort of, like, playable demo for us to play, because I would love to get to know the mechanics a bit early before the full game comes out.
I think that would go a long way in getting more people to play Three Houses. But it's bad. I definitely want it to. But they didn't release a demo for any of their other big titles that I can think of.
They released one for Awakening, actually. They released, like, the first 2 chapters.
Yeah, they released Awakening, but I mean more recently, like Mario Odyssey didn't get a demo. Breath of the Wild didn't get a demo. I'm trying to think of other ones. I don't know. Those are the 2 big ones I can think of. But I guess those are like a different tier. Those are like an upper echelon that people already know about. But they didn't really need demos. So I don't know. There could be a demo.
Yeah, Fire Emblem, as much as, like, Nintendo actually considers it a major IP now, but still it's not as big as, again, Mario or Zelda. You can't, even with its representation in Smash,
Oh, it's a it's a major franchise in the same way that like Yoshi, like just the standalone Yoshi games, and like I'd even say like the standalone Donkey Kong games are major franchises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get ya.
Yeah. So I don't think yeah yeah. All right, let's move on. So we kind of talked about this already, but I want to like dive deep into it. Not or maybe not too deep. I don't know. Let's just talk about it. But are Crest really going to be
Yeah.
the second coming of Holy Blood? And what I mean is like, do you like you already kind of express this, but do you think there's gonna be like a second generation of children that are affected by pairings with different crests slash Holy Bloods and whatever else? And how is that? And how do you think that might affect the gameplay and all that different stuff?
Okay, so I actually wanted to talk about that as well because from what I read, like from translated from Mitsu articles, is that crests randomly manifest, from what I understand. So maybe if there is a second generation, maybe depending on parents, there's more of an RNG, because this game seems very RNG reliant so far, based on even how classes require you to have certain weapon ranks and pass rates and all that.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe while, like, say you marry Edelgard to Byleth, and with that, you know, even though Byleth is shown already from Famitsu interviews to have a major crest, and Edelgard to have a minor crest, what if, like, when the child is born, like, they show, like, a percentage rate and, like, a, like, scale of if they have that blood type, you know?
So before you S rank, you just say, "Be careful, you're about to S rank, and you can't S rank anyone else." And if you do, these are the percentage, these are the hit rates that you'll have with these for different crests. That's
Yes.
hilarious.
So it's like, oh, I could make a major crest character out of this. Turns out the rolls are just wrong for you, and it acts on like Fate's lunatic RNG, so you can't just reset it on your file. I know that sounds mean, but it's something that I kind of hope for, just because as much fun as it is to play eugenics, it's like as much fun as it is to do that, it's also funny to see it backfire in a way.
For sure, for sure. So, do you think it's gonna? So, as far as like a second generation goes, do you think it's gonna be they're gonna pull an Awakening or Fates, or do you think it's gonna be, a big like 15-year time gap between one generation and another?
I could honestly see it being a big time gap because Byleth is the teacher, and
He could totally stay around and then come back with like a beard or something. I don't know.
yeah, and what I was gonna point out is that students graduate and leave. Like that's what school is about.
Yeah, that's what like they're gonna leave the military academy at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, someday they're gonna like. I'm assuming they're gonna be leaders. So maybe someday they send their kids there because you've been such a great teacher.
Oh my gosh, it'd be like Harry Potter.
Yes, exactly.
It's like the end of Harry Potter when you see Harry and Ginny dropping off little Harry.
I've not watched any of the Harry Potter movies, actually, funny enough.
Oh, don't worry about it. They're like okay.
Yeah, I know. I stopped off. Actually, I watched up to the fourth movie and then lost interest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shove it down your throat. I haven't read any of the books either. I don't know. Sorry, off topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, they return like, but yeah, like so because you've done such a great job teaching their previous like the parents of these kids now return and you are their Jagan teacher for the second generation.
That would honestly be so cool. And then Byleth would be like Finn and just be a part of both generations. And it's cool because that's kind of what happens with Finn. If he starts off as like he's just like kind of like a whatever character. Like he's good, but he's not like great in Gen 1. But in Gen 2, you have the opportunity like he could come back promoted with like with his with his brave brave lance. Ugh, words.
He's
with his
not
brave
Lex.
lance and stuff. Yeah, with his brave lance and everything ready to go. Like he could be like Violet could be like the exact same thing, and that would be dope.
It would be like again like maybe even give him like a new like older skill because I'm just gonna say like one of the things that I dislike about modern day Jagans is that they kill everything and they're really the only unit you need for like low turn count stuff. And one of the things I'd love is like if like Byleth had like a let the students gain experience skill and as such would leave a target at 1 HP. But if a student lower level than him kills it, they get like double EXP or something.
So it'd be like Mercy.
Mercy only it
from Radiant
benefits
Dawn.
lower level like characters, in that they get double EXP for finishing off the unit you left alive.
Oh, that'd actually be really cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, because here's the thing: as someone that has thought about teaching myself, like in the past, like not teaching like in an actual school setting, but like teaching people how to play Fire Emblem. One of the like if I was a Fire Emblem unit, and I was forced to be the Jagan, I'd probably myself have the Mercy skill, just because I'd want people that are lower in my army to have more experience, to get more experienced, instead of leaving everyone in the dust.
Yeah, that's like a super cool idea. Like that. Well, the problem with that is you still want your Jagan to be able to kill and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah. That's a really cool idea. Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah. So I hope that there's a second generation, and I hope that it is a time skip. But I'll be happy if it's a second generation. They do some time, travel mumbo jumbo like they did in Awakening. I honestly don't care. I like a second generation. It's just a fun thing to think about and plan around, personally.
Another thing they could do is like natural progression of time, like say like because the game takes place in months, traveling days by days, so we could see them the characters naturally age. And again, they're students. They're like young. I'm assuming they're gonna be like not just high school age, but like late teens to like early 20s. They all can like hook up and everything, and over time, you get where I'm going with that.
Yeah, for sure. It's totally feasible. Totally feasible. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Mr. Greatrieck.
No problem. This was fun to do. Also, I'm just going to say this. If I am correct and a demo does come out for Three Houses, we should get back together and talk about that.
For sure, man. I would totally be down for that. For sure. So, again, go check out his channel. It is there's a link in the description of this video. And just go check it out. Go support another smaller YouTuber like myself. It'll be good for everyone to help the community grow. But again, thank you so much for coming on. If you ever want to come on in the future, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So this is our topic for this week's discussion, Friends at Home. So make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think Crest are going to do as far as gameplay goes? And do you want a second generation that utilizes the Crest in some way? And also, never mind, not all. So that's it. Yeah, just leave your thoughts in the comments on that. And also, as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more Fire Emblem discussion.